NFTs have been a huge topic since last year, which comes as no surprise since crypto markets are exploding. For now, online poker and NFTs are in the beginning of their relationship and multiple projects are only existing on paper. But there are already some ambitious takes on this subject. Stick around till the end for a chance to take part in some amazing NFT free rolls and win thousands of dollars. Most poker people keep an eye on the crypto space and are probably familiar with NFTs. But if you are someone who does not have much idea about NFTs, let me explain. NFT stands for non-fungible tokens. We can break this down into two parts. Non-fungible, in other words, means non-replaceable or unique. For example, a painting like the Mona Lisa is non-fungible because there is only one in the entire world. You could make copies of the painting, but the original one will still retain the higher value. On the other hand, a $100 bill is fungible or replaceable because it is identical to every other $100 bill. Before we understand what tokens are, we must know what a blockchain is. For example, let's say I buy a book from a store worth $10. I swipe my card and pay the shopkeeper and the transaction is done. Now this transaction was actually very easy, but what happened in the background? When I swiped my card, in milliseconds the bank checked whether I had $10 in my account or not, and if I had, then the bank approved the transaction. The money was transferred from my bank account to his, and the banks keep the record of the whole transaction. This is called a centralized way of banking, and only the banks will have the information about the transactions. Now in 2009, someone named Satoshi Nakamoto, who developed Bitcoin and who may or may not be a real person, asked if we could transform the centralized world into a decentralized world. In other words, he asked if the records of every transaction could be made public instead of private. And that is the concept of blockchain, and the token is the currency of the blockchain. The blockchain fulfills the same things that banks would do, but instead of keeping the records private, all of the transactions would be recorded publicly on the internet forever. Nobody can erase it or edit it. So now we can finally explain what is an NFT and how it is connected to the blockchain. NFTs are tokens that live in the blockchain and represent ownership of unique items. It's easy to track the ownership of physical goods like books or paintings. But what if someone wants to own a digital piece of art like an image or a movie clip? Tracking of digital files is tricky because it can be copied and distributed effortlessly. Well, NFTs solve this problem. A digital artist can create an NFT of his art. The NFT that represents his art contains bits of info about it like a unique fingerprint, a token name, and a symbol. This token is then stored in the blockchain and the artist becomes the owner. He can now sell the token by creating a transaction on the blockchain, and the blockchain makes sure that this information cannot be tampered with. Basically, NFTs give you digital bragging rights. For example, the founder of Twitter, Jack Dorsey, sold his first tweet as an NFT to a Malaysian businessman for almost $3 million. Everyone can see that tweet, but now only one person can own it. That is how NFTs work. They are a legitimate way of transferring ownership of an item in such a way that the ownership will always be on record. NFTs are arguably the most divisive investment assets. Some believe that they are a gimmick and a bubble that will die out, whilst others claim they are the future of art and gaming. One industry that has endorsed NFTs with open arms is poker. High-stakes players like Mike McDonald, Jeff Gross, Dan Smith, and Ryan Dott all have CryptoPunks worth around $400,000 as their Twitter profile pictures, with Bill Perkins sporting a World of Woman NFT. Poker and NFTs are the perfect fusion. Naturally, poker players like to take risks. Even the best players in the world is at risk of losing serious capital if they get stung by an opponent's one outer river card, but the key to profitability is being plus EV over time. Investments in things like NFTs are a store of value to poker players. Given that it's a very novel industry, NFT collectibles like CryptoPunks are expected to soar more in value to a point where only the world's elite can afford to buy one. This, ultimately, is the crux of it all. NFTs have become a status symbol. Jay-Z, Jordan Belfort, and Jason Derulo all have CryptoPunks as their Twitter profile picture in what is often described as the ultimate flex. As the world moves closer to the reality of a digital dystopia, there's no better way to flaunt riches and prestige than through an 8-bit avatar worth $500,000. If a teenage poker player wins a few $1,000,000 in a tournament, they could have previously spent about $100,000 on a new watch. The goalposts have now switched. As absurd it may sound, CryptoPunks worth almost $500,000 are now the most sought-after asset. If you are thinking of getting some NFTs, I want to introduce you to No Limit Llamas. They are a collection of 10,000 unique randomly generated llamas of varying rarity on the Ethereum blockchain. No Limit Llamas have a strong team with successful blockchain and NFT experiences. The team aims to establish an entertaining environment for every holder while innovating the NFT poker gaming experience and membership loyalty. Their main goal is establishing a poker club in the metaverse where everyone can play poker and only the NFT holders will share lifetime profits of the rake. Click the link in the description to join their Discord server where weekly free roll tournaments are held where you can win Ethereum, NFTs, and whitelist spots. The next free roll is on January 15th with Next Gen Poker. There is also a crazy giveaway on Discord where one NFT holder will win a 2021 Ferrari Portofino or $230,000 in Ethereum after the public sale on January 23rd. Globally known poker player Tony G is having his most iconic poker phrases available as NFTs. Tony G, who is also the advisor of Limpo NFT ecosystem project, will be featured in 6 different types of Limpo NFTs that represent his most memorable poker phrases like date with an 8, we're all winners here, and of course, the signature on your bike phrase. The Ether Rock is an NFT and cost Mike McDonald a whopping $400,000 to buy. While to many, it may only look like a child's colorful drawing of a rock, to Mike McDonald and others, it's a savvy investment. The Ether Rock website itself states, these virtual rocks serves no purpose beyond being able to be bought and sold and giving you a strong sense of pride in being an owner of one of the only 100 rocks in the game. The World Poker Tour started selling WPT moments, which are not unlike digital trading cards similar to NBA Top Shots, which are causing a stir in the NFT world. When you buy a WPT NFT, for example, the legendary Scotty Win card, you will become one of the 100 holders of the moment where Scotty Win's Ace-Queen suited defeated Michael Mizrachi's Ace-Jack offsuit in the WPT World Poker Open on January 23, 2006. If poker fans find them endearing or deem them collectible, a market could develop around the NFTs. The limited supply of each of the NFTs is creating a demand, thus increasing the price of the WPT moments. After the announcement of the partnership between WPT and Theta Labs, it didn't take much time for one of the most odd poker players of all time, Phil Ivey, to partner up with the Eternity Chain and Impossible Brief in order to launch their licensed NFT collection. The Phil Ivey collection is titled The Royal Flush, given that there are 5 different editions represented by each card in the Royal Flush: 10 Jack, Queen King, and Ace. Those who complete a Royal Flush will automatically be entered to have an opportunity to participate in a charity poker game featuring Phil Ivey. Now you know the real worth of these NFTs. The Poker Hall of Famer also launched a unique NFT via Moments. Multiverse NFTs offer collectors 3 dimensions to allow them to own a historical moment. First Dimension auction's highest bidder will own a legendary hand played between Phil Ivey and Tom Dwan on High Stakes Poker, where Dwan bluffed Ivey. Second Dimension's auction's highest bidder gets an all-expense-paid trip to Las Vegas to meet and compete against Phil Ivey in a high-stakes cash game. Finally, the Third Dimension's top bidder earns a limited edition Phil Ivey hybrid sneaker tied to the First Dimension NFT moment. The sneaker can be worn in the metaverse and also in real life. After hearing these stories, it appears that scarcity sells, even digital scarcity. This is actually one of the main selling points of Bitcoin, the fact that there is a finite amount of coins that will be mined. In the poker world, just like the gaming world, NFTs can be used to buy unique avatars to be used while playing poker to give them bragging rights. Also, players who compete and win major online poker events crave for a real-life trophy like live players. If real trophies are not possible, then maybe NFT trophies could be made available that marks a major victory in an online poker tournament. So now you have the complete information on all current and forthcoming poker NFTs. If you are an NFT aficionado or simply want to be a part of the current NFT craze, you now have access to few fantastic chances.